Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am making another holiday side dish. We'll be making a gluten-free cornbread stuffing. It has been about 5 years since I've had stuffing. It smells really incredible and I am so excited to give this a try. This is the first attempt that I've ever made to make this dish. I don't think I've ever had a cornbread stuffing either. I think I've had just like regular bread stuffing. I am using a gluten-free cornbread and making my own croutons and making my own mix and making it into this delicious stuffing. So if you want to see how we put this together, keep watching and let's get cooking. The ingredients you'll need for this cornbread stuffing is going to be cornbread. I have a gluten-free store-bought version that I'm going to be using, and instead of making one large loaf, I am going to break it into 3 smaller loaves. So there's that. And then for the dressing portion, I am going to be using sweet Italian sausage. I'll probably only use about 2 of these links. About 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 egg, 3/4 cup of heavy cream, salt and pepper, some celery and onion and kale. And then for herbs, I have thyme, rosemary, and sage. So that is it to make this cornbread stuffing. For the cornbread croutons, I'm just simply following the box instructions, mixing milk, oil, and an egg, and combining all of that until it becomes a batter. And then I am going to line my 3 mini loaf pans with parchment paper. You can line this any way you want. I like to line all 4 sides because I like how the crinkle looks around the loaf. I like to butter it so that the parchment sticks down, and then I add the batter. These are filled 2/3 of the way full, and they're going to bake for about 28 minutes. Here's our cornbread. It looks like it cooked perfectly. I pulled one of the loaves out of the pan because that's all I'm going to be using. So this is also a nice way to test out recipes by just making them in smaller versions. And I think that's a lot of what I'm going to do with recipes going forward, is make them in, 1 to 2 person servings. If you are using a regular loaf pan, you would just use 1/3 of the loaf. I'm going to take the loaf and cut it into little cubes because we need to make croutons. And that is what is going to be in the stuffing. So I'm just gonna chop them into slices and then go in and cube these. And I'm going to add them to a sheet tray. And I turn the oven temp down to 300, and I will bake them until they're crispy and golden. I was a little worried at how much I would get out of the little loaf, but now that I'm cutting it up and seeing it on the pan, I think we have a lot to work with, so that makes me really happy. All right, so I'm gonna bake these off until they get about golden brown. I think it's gonna take about 40 to 45 minutes. And what I'll do is I'll keep kind of shaking the pan. I might actually put them on a little bit of a bigger, with this one, might be better. There we go. Just want to give them a little bit more room because when I toss them or turn them, I don't want them to be so close together. So I'm just gonna bake these into croutons. So far after 10 minutes, the croutons still look pretty normal. They do feel like they're getting crispy, but you just wanna make sure to kind of shake them, move them around. I don't know if maybe I'm overcrowding them in this pan, but I didn't want to dirty anything bigger, so we'll see how it turns out. While my croutons are baking, I'm just going to prep the rest of the vegetables. I think I'm just gonna use like 1 to 2 stalks of kale because this is a scaled down version. And I'm just removing the ribs because they're kind of fibrous and tough. And I'm just tearing it into big pieces. You don't even have to really chop it. For the celery, I'm just simply going to chop it. I actually know a lot of people who can use recipes in this fashion instead of making, you know, huge amounts for like a party size all the time. Maybe you're not spending the holidays with family, but you still want to make it a little festive for yourself. I'm also just going to take about 1/4 of this onion and use that instead. Then I'm just gonna take some rosemary and pull it off this stalk. I just have kind of like a half of a stalk. Just kind of strip the stalks. I'm gonna chop these smaller because I don't want to get like a big old chunk of rosemary in my mouth. And that's it. We're all prepped. Okay, the last part of prepping is going to be the sweet Italian sausage. I'm just gonna do 2 for my portion. To prep this, you just want to remove the casing and it just peels right out. And that is all of our prep. Now it's time to make the dressing. So we're gonna start by browning the sausage. On medium-low heat, you just want to cook the sausage until it's nice and brown. I like to cook it until it has kind of charred, crispy bits on the outside, and I don't necessarily keep going until it is cooked all the way through because it's going to bake in the oven. Then remove it and add it to a bowl. Into the pan, add the butter and the vegetables that you prepped, and cook those for about 5 minutes. Season it well, and once that's cooked down after the 5 minutes, you're going to add your greens. You want this to cook for about 2 minutes or until the kale has wilted down, and then add in your cream and your cup of broth. And we'll want this to come to a simmer and simmer it for about 7 to 9 minutes until the sauce is kind of thickened a bit. Once that is ready, we're going to add to the sausage bowl, add the dressing that you just made, add in the cornbread carefully. And I forgot to add the egg, so I'm adding that in quickly right now at this step. And what you'll want to do is toss everything together very gently because you don't want the croutons to break. And you want to do this process for about 5 minutes. To a buttered casserole dish, you'll want to pour in the mixture. And then I'm going to dot it with some butter. And that is going to go in the oven at 350. Bake for 25 minutes covered and 25 minutes uncovered. there we have it. There is our finished cornbread stuffing. It is a gluten-free version. It smells incredible, and this is the first time I'm having stuffing in like 5 years, so I'm really excited to give this a try. So I'm just gonna take some from the corner here and give it. Oh my gosh, that is so tasty. And I use like a honey kind of cornbread. So the saltiness of the sausage mixed with it, it just balances so well. It is so tasty. I am so happy that I tried this. This one is definitely one I am keeping to make in larger portions to take to the next family gathering. I just have to eat a little bit more of. Oh my god. My niece is gonna be so excited, and she's just gonna love it. This is so good, so flavorful. The making the cornbread croutons, they're still really crunchy, but the ones on the bottom are soft from the sauce and it baking, and it's like really fluffy. It is so good. I'm just going to keep enjoying this and get my husband down here to try it. Here I have the perfect bite for you.
It's amazing. It's really good. Really good. It's gluten-free?
Yeah.
No way.
It's gluten-free cornbread.
Dang, that's good.
I haven't had stuffing in like 5 years.
That's really good. That's better than the stuffing
That we had.
That's good.
The stovetop or stover's top or whatever.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for subscribing. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and thanks again so much for being here. Have a great day, and I will check you in the next video. Bye.